Punit is not going to join. So let's start then. So today we are going to discuss about the loops. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it will be one-on-one session. So make sure to ask all the questions, and because you are the only one to write.
Definitely.
Okay. Now the thing is that loops. Okay. Here. Suppose now consider a scenario where you have written a logic and you want to use that logic again and again in the same code. Means you want to use that logic, means if you want to suppose you are want to print a logic saying that you want to book a ticket. So and suddenly your friends also said that you have 10 to 15 friends, they also said that okay,
Sorry.
book the ticket also, book the ticket for me also. So what you are going to write the same logic again and again for the 15 people?
No, Ashok. Once we'll execute that and in a
Okay.
single command we'll be executing that and we'll be sending again it again. Like we'll write the conditions.
Yes, for that we will use the conditions called loop. This is an iteration, means for if you are having more than 2 or 3 people, we will be using the loops, means that we are iterating the code again and again. So for that we will be having loops, where if a single code can be iterated multiple times, means you can use the same logic again and again for multiple times if it is present in a loop. So it will be a loop until if the 15% means first person it started, and after 15 it went, and after the 15% the tickets got booked, it will exit from the loop, because we have given in that loop from 1 to 15 only execute this condition continuously. So
Okay.
this is called a loop, where you do it continuously when you are working on it. How exactly it works out, how exactly the conditions going forward every time when you are running it, that works out. Now consider that first there are three types of loops. One is for loop, while loop, until loop. Okay. So now I'm gonna write about the for loop. I just did it before itself only. So see how exactly the loop declaration will be for variable in dollar do it with the conditions and
Okay.
enter commands or the codes what you want to write here.
Is basic syntax, Ashok. The top one.
Yes, that's it. There's a basic syntax for variable, for which variable you want to write, and the condition where how many times you want to write, means what is the exact scenarios you want to pull the data. So this is the list, how many times you want to run from, means 1 to 15, or how many times. This is the condition we'll be using, and this will be the variable using this data, pulling the data from this list and executing this code. This is a basic syntax for loop, and we can use one more also. For this will be the instantiation,
Initialization.
condition,
Okay.
and increment or decrement, whatever may be the.
Okay.
Okay, this is the normal scenario, and again do comments or codes, whatever, then done. That's it. This is the coding language where when you are writing it, this is the way you have to mention something for the for loop. So this is the instantiation. This suppose instantiation means now consider that you are want to start from means, as I mentioned, taking the cinema example to booking the movie tickets. So suppose we have taken I equals to 1. So starting with you, and the condition should be I less than or equal to 15, means we have to book the tickets for 15 people less than or equal to 15. Increment, we are incrementing the I value, I plus plus means I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until the condition I less than or equal to 15 comes. This loop will be running continuously. This is the simple basic scenario for loop command. This is the loop where we have to declarations works out. That's the same thing. I think I have mentioned it here also. Okay.
Yes, Ashok.
So there the concepts of loop are used to repeat the same logic for multiple inputs, which reduce your tasks. So as I said, important concepts and the starting point, as I mentioned, what is the starting point? Loop control variable, also called the counter, which keeps the tracks of how many iterations a loop has to run. The counter is incremented after each iteration. This is the one where we have discussed about this increment or decrement. And the condition, which defines how many times a loop has to run.
Okay.
The condition ensures that the loop runs until it reaches the endpoint. Okay. See, here they have written like this also. You can write this like this also. Means for initiation means the increment value. Suppose what is the highest value? The highest value dot to the lowest value, and how many times this loop has to run.
Okay.
Means how many times it has to decrement. This see, this is the value which we have initiated, and this is the condition how many times it has to run, and this is the time how many times it has to decrement. It is a simple for loop means you can mention like this also, but nobody declares like this because this is the very easiest way where we maximum use this kind of scenarios. Because like Java, when we are start writing in the Java kind of it, the same way we write it in Linux also, so that it works out very easily for us.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we're gonna initialize Ashok for condition.
Yes, we are initializing, right?
Okay. Before that, we will be declaring the variable, like whether it
Yeah,
is
here
int.
only we are initializing. Suppose like this, we are will be initializing for
I is
equals
equals
to 0,
okay.
I less than or equal to 10,
One. Okay.
I plus plus. See, have initialized I equals to 0 with a value. Then I have mentioned the condition I should be less than or equal to 10. I plus plus means 0 will be every time when the loop is running, it will be going from 0 to
Okay.
1,
Hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like multiple times.
Ashok, here we can use square bracket Ashok for that
Where?
for loop
No, we can't.
for for
Here,
like we have been through like previous task. There we
where,
were using the square bracket.
where I have used square bracket here.
Not here Ashok. Like we were using if statement square bracket.
If statement is a condition, a control flow, right? For if we have to use the square bracket, or
Okay.
maybe the this one, you can use the curly brackets also. Means uh, circular brackets, but
Okay.
not this for this one. For loop, you can't.
Okay.
If for loop, you can't use the square brackets. The loop you can't see. If you want, you can use it. Now, suppose let's. I'm just gonna take an example. So see, here I have declared a names. It is a variable, and I have a file name names.txt. Okay, whatever the names in this file, I am taking each one here, and I am doing an echo where I am printing all the names like this.
Okay.
Okay. Hello.
Yes Ashok, I'm hearing.
Yeah. See, the thing is that as I mentioned, this is the names.txt file. I'm taking it. I'm reading each name of this file into the names, and I'm printing each name from here. So until if this names.txt has hundreds of names, it will be taking each name and will be printing all the names here until the loop ends.
Okay.
So These are all the names. John, Jacob, Alexa, Siri, Apple, Google, Jonathan, Facebook, Meta. And here it has started from John and it has taken everything. So from top to end, it went every line. This is for the for loop. Any doubts on this?
No, Ashok.
Now the next comes into the picture. Okay. Suppose here, as I mentioned, now you are using this one. How many types the loop will run for here? For value in 10. See, this is the highest value and this is the lowest value 0. So it will be decrementing into. So, and it is decrementing with a value of 2. So how many times this loop will run?
5 times.
Come on, do a dry run and tell me.
Like each time it will decrement by 2.
2.
10 minus
Okay.
2, 10 minus.
Yeah, then go on. Do your own calculation and tell me.
Yes, yes, Ashok.
Yeah, go on. Tell me.
5, Ashok.
Sure.
Oh, yes, Ashok.
Okay. First time 10.
10
Okay.
minus 2.
First time it will run. So second time 10 minus 2, 8.
8.
Okay. Second loop. 8 minus 2, 6.
6.
Third loop.
6 minus 2.
6 minus 2, 4. Fourth
4
loop.
minus
6 times.
4 minus 2, 2.
2
2
minus
minus 2.
0.
So how many times the loop run?
Like for
6
initially we need to check with the 10 also, Ashok.
Yeah, because we are using the main value, right? 10 value, because that is the highest value which we when the loop got started.
Then it
See,
will
when
highest is
I
10 and the least value is 0, is it? Ashok?
yes,
Then
yes,
6 times.
yes, that's right, 6 times. Because when you start initiation, you will be considering that value. Because when for I equals to 0, it will consider from the 0th value first the loop will run. And first, when the first iteration got completed, then it will increment the value of 0 to 1. Like the same way when 10 is mentioned, so it will run for the first initiation 10. Then when the first iteration got completed, it go back to that and it will see that it has been decremented 2 times. So it will be 10 minus 2, 8. So then it will run for the that 8 for 8 value, it will iterate and again it will go to the loop where it is decremented to 6. So like that way it runs that. So here the answer is 6. That is the reason I just didn't printed the answer just to show. So this is a basic normal script. You just try it in just in reverse order using the for loop. So the same way which I have written here, just the simple difference I'm given. Print first and in the reverse order. Sample input take 5 as an input value, I equals to 5. I less than or equals to 0 and I minus minus. So it goes on, the loop goes on for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 and it will print the value. I have already told you the condition also and I have given the answer also. So you just have to print it. Just you have to try it from your side. Okay.
Yes, Ashok.
Now we'll be talking about the while loop. While loop, actually, I'm just going to take two things in the same way. There are two loops, while and until. The basic difference between while loop and until loop is that while loop is that if this condition is true, suppose how we write is that while square brackets condition do do commands or codes and done. Until loop is also the same thing. Until condition do codes done. The basic difference between the while and until is that while will be executed until this condition is true. Means this will be executed only if the condition is true. Means up to, suppose if say that uh, while n is less than or equal to 10, so it will execute up to the condition it is less than or equals to 10. Until is a reverse scenario. Means suppose if you say while n is greater than 10, so it will execute up to ninth one, and when it is greater than 10, it will stop executing the condition. That is a basic difference between while and until. Means while executes the loop until and unless it satisfies this condition n less than or equals to 10. Until is a reverse of while, where it will take the reverse consideration. Means it will execute until this condition is true. It will not execute after that. I will give you an example. Meanwhile, I'm just explaining. These are the only two loops, while and until. Suppose, see, here I have given n equals to 1. While n less than or equals to 1, do echo $n.
Here there is no commas in between, Ashok.
No, this is
Like
not Java.
while applying the condition.
No, this is not Java. So you don't need to put comma. Means for the for loop, you have to, because if you are initializing
Okay.
this condition, if you are using any condition, you have to. Means for loop I equals to 0, I equals to 1, for that loop you have to. For while you don't have to. It's just a simple condition, you can use it directly. So I'm using
We need to
$n.
give the spacing between the things, Ashok.
Sorry.
We need to give the spacing between the condition.
Yes, because see, it will, the indentation is more important, because it will not consider like that.
Okay.
So while n less than or equals to 10. So see, if you want to use this symbolic names minus LE, you have to use the square brackets. If you don't want to use this, you can use the double this things circular brackets, and you can use the less than symbol directly. So it's up to you how you want to use it. So echo $n. Why I have incremented this one? Can anyone tell me?
Increase the value. It will come n is equals to 1.
So if it
Ashok?
is not there, what will happen? If
No.
it is not,
It will enter into this while loop. It will take n value as 1. If it is
okay,
less than 10, then it will go into this thing, n value. It will print the n value. Then it will add the value of n plus plus. It will
okay,
increment by 2. Then it
yes,
will go again.
yeah. If it is not there, what will happen?
Oh, it will not run the loop, Ashok. It will stop there itself.
No, it will run.
But it will print the value n as 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah, it will go into infinite loop.
Okay.
Infinite loop means if you are not incrementing this value,
Hmm.
this loop will be continuously executing. This program will be continuously running for infinite times.
Yes.
Infinite times if you are not in, because you have mentioned n value and you are not incrementing this. 10 is always less than 1, is always less than 10. So it will be executing infinite times.
Yes.
So when you are writing the while loops and everything, when you it is mandatory that you have to increment at every time. If you are not incrementing, or maybe if you are not decrementing the values, suppose you mentioned that 11 is greater than 10. Yes, and you are not decremented that. It will always continuously will be running the this piece of code will be continuously executing infinite times. That yes, 11 is greater than 10. It will be executing continuously. So the increment and decrement is very mandatory when you are writing this logics, because if you are not written, the code, the piece of code will be executing infinite times. Make sure that when you should increment it. If you are not, then it's problem. Increment or decrement, however the condition is.
Then
Okay.
if the
Yes.
if the program is running infinite times, like as you said now, what is the command need to be used, Ashok?
See, for executing, you have to come out of that loop. Then you just have to in Linux, you have to press Control C. If you want, I will show you. Just give me a minute. But for that, I may need to close the system also for that. Okay, now executing. See. So it executed every time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once the value, the condition got false, means 11 is not less than or equals to 10. It stopped. It stopped there itself. Now the same way, if I mention the until loop. So here I have taken n equals to 1 until $n minus greater than 5 to echo $n plus plus 5. So this is a reverse of it, right? So how much times it will print this value means $n greater than 5 means once this $n equal greater than means 6 is greater than 5, at that time, up to that time, it will print the values. Just see. I mentioned value until loop. That's my bad. See, once the loop inside the condition gets true, the until loop starts. It will stop the execution. Suppose if I given greater than or equals to, it will stop at what point? Once the condition inside the loop is true, the until loop stops execution. While loop executes until the condition is true. Once the condition is false in while loop, it will not start. It will not start executing.
Like
This
we
is a
have
basic.
given equals to also, it will not print 5, Ashok.
No, it will not, because as I said, if the condition is true, the until loop stops executing. If the condition is false in while loop, then it will stop executing. In until loop, if the condition is true, then it will stop execution. So the basic difference between while and until. Okay, you want to see the loop, right? See if in between if it will be executing continuously, make sure that tell me. Doing the n plus plus. Okay, I'm executing. You're seeing, right?
Yes, yes, it is executing. Ashok.
Yes.
Control C.
Control C for this one. Control C for Linux. It will be Control C. But if you're returning in Java and everything, you have to close that program there itself. Terminate that instance at the time. Okay. Any doubts up to now? Yes, come on. Today I have to complete the functions also, so that tomorrow I have to start Git, because in 2 months we have to complete all the course and you have to become a pro. We have to be very fast. I think this is the first time I've taken for Linux this many classes. Any questions? Go on.
Ashok?
Yes. Yes, Ashwin, tell me.
No. Like do we need to answer for this question?
Yes, means I'm just asking. Do you have any questions? If not, I will just gonna ask you this question only.
Done, Ashok. No doubts.
Okay. While $A is less than 10. So how many times? So A starts with 0, so it will run 10 times. That's correct. Perfectly right answer. So write a bash script that prints all odd numbers from 1 to 15. Try this in your place. Means just a bash script printing all the odd numbers. So just use a while loop while A less than 15, less than or equals to, do echo, and A equals to A plus 2. So every time from it is starting from the 1, right? So 1 plus 2 equals to 3, 3 plus 2 equals to 5, like that. So I already told you the condition also. So you have to do it. So the same thing goes for the bash script. See here it has been done. The until loop is executed as many times as the condition command evaluates to false. The loop terminates when the condition command becomes true. On the other hand, the while loop is executed when the command is true. Otherwise, it will terminate. As I said, it's a simple difference. So try this bash script in home, means starting from 1 to 5. So sample input n should be a positive integer. So you mention the 5 value. So until and unless, if I've just mentioned, I have already written this program also. Just now we printed it. Same thing. I've just printed it. So you just have to return the same thing again, just for your practice. So the same thing here, it is there.
Yes, Ashok, it is number 33.6, is it?
37. This is for until loop. This is using while loop. You can use the same thing also, difference. You can change it and you can use it also. That's fine. I just want you to practice it.
Sure, Ashok.
Now you can have it. So if you're not, then there is another two statements, break and continue. Break and continue, that simple difference is that if you in a piece of code, if you write break like this, as here in this condition, if you see break here, so after this, if a break has been, then after below the code, whatever has been there, it will not execute, it will come out of this loop. What break does is that if you have written break somewhere in between the code, it will not execute below the lines of the break, and it will execute from the exit from the loop. And while continue is that continue, what if you are using continue here, so it will not execute the lines below this one, but it will go to the next iteration. It will not execute from the loop, it will just go to a second iteration. Means suppose if it is the continue is in the first iteration, suppose you are running it on the first iteration, you have mentioned continue here. So here it has been done, the below lines will not execute, it will go to the second iteration. Again it comes here, it will not exit here, again it go to the third iteration. So it will not exit from the loop, but it will be going to the new iteration. So this is a basic difference between break and continue statements. Break statements are used to exit the loop, while continue statements are used to skip some iterations inside the loop. I'm gonna do it with an example for you. I already did. See, simple what I have taken. For I equals to 1, I less than or equals to, for this, see, I've just mentioned, right? I plus plus. You don't have to give space also if you don't want. Okay, for I equals to 1, I plus plus do if $I greater than 4, then break. So how many values it will be printing?
Is good. 9 values, 10 values.
No,
Why? See,
4, Ashok.
okay, Puneet, why you said 10?
Sorry, sir. I didn't see the if condition. Sorry, Ashok. Is greater than 4. Okay.
So as we said, it will print only 4, because once I is greater than 4, means 5 is greater than 4, it will break this condition. It will come out of this loop. It will not execute after that anything. It will directly exit from this loop at all. Totally. Let's see.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Once the condition is gone and it went to the break, so it has find out that okay, 5 is greater than 4, so automatically the break happened, because it went into the break condition exactly. Okay, what the other one was? Continue, right?
Yes. Bash dot continue.
Already the code is there for me. See, the same thing. I is greater than same loop I have taken. Now I have used a condition. If $I is equals to 4 or $I equals to 6, then continue. Means I'm mentioning that if I equals to 4 or I equals to 6, then skip these iterations and print only the iteration skipping these two. So what will be the answers?
Ten I should. No, 6.
Come on, guys, think correctly. 1 to 10, how many times the loop will be executing?
10 times I should.
Okay, so if we are skipping 2 iterations, how many values will be there?
Total 8.
So why 6 or 10 you are saying? See,
No, it will go inside and continue again the echo value of I.
yes, every time it will continue. As I said, it will skip these iterations. Means once this condition is true, it will skip that iteration. Means it will not execute that iteration. It will
Okay.
go back. It will go into the second iteration. It will go to a different iteration, and it will print 5. So if you see,
Equal to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7.
I think already it is there in the top. See, 1, 2, 3. When it came to 4, it skipped that iteration. It
Okay.
printed 5. It 6. It skipped that iteration. It went again to 7. It printed 7, 8, 9, 10. See,
That both condition it will not execute, Ashok.
it will not execute. It will not print the value for that one.
Okay.
What break did, once the value is 5 or greater than 4, it break the loop and it came out of it. But
Yes.
here we are just skipping the iterations, but we are printing the total values. See, we are just skipping that iteration and we are not printing them because the loop has not executed for those two.
Okay. But then it will keep on continuing the loop.
Yes, it will keep on going. It will not exit the loop. Only when if you use break, it will exit from the loop. But
Okay.
when you are using continue, it will just skip that iterations. It will
We
not
can add
execute.
on to that, right, Ashok? Like you have given that 4 and 6. We can give 8, like furthermore.
Yeah, you can. You can do anything. How many times you want to continue? See, if I'm using 4, right? What do you want?
Equals to, okay. Remove 9 now.
No, it will not print the ninth one.
Yes.
See, 4, 6, 9 got mixed.
Though the condition is true, but then if you use that continue statement, whatever the thing is mentioned in that, it will not display it.
Yes, because we at for that iteration only we are skipping that value.
Okay.
For that exact value, we are skipping it.
Then
Okay.
We are skipping for this means when it is 4, we are skipping this iteration. We are not running this iteration at all. We are not printing to the echo $I. We are not going there. Again, we went to the loop. Again, it came inside for 5 and it went through fully. Then again, the loop went, and when it came down, the incremented 5 plus 1 equals to 6. And it came to 6. It have seen that, okay, this is the condition. The continue statement is there. So it stopped here. Again, it
yes.
went to the loop. So like that way it works out. So the continue will just skip that iteration, but it will go to the full loop until unless this condition is satisfied. Why I is less than or equals to 10 means 10 is less than or equal to 10. Until that, this loop will be running continuously. Any questions?
No, Ashok.
Okay. Now we will be talking about the functions. Do you have any idea what is a function?
No, sure.
For
See,
a
the
specific
function uh, is to create a small block of code which we can use in any piece of code to reduce repetitions. Suppose in a simple like the loop we are using, suppose if you want to in a big method you have to use this logic and loop continuously. So you don't have to use that loop, right? So what we'll do is that we will write a some small piece of code. Function.sh. What we will do is that function in commands or codes. Okay. So this way we will be writing a code where this function will be using continuously, means we will be using this continuously. How many times we are going to use it, how many times we are going to run it, that many times will be using this function, means we will just be using this name of this one to somewhere. We'll be using this name in all the pieces so that it works out. We don't have to write the same logic again and again. It's just a simple concept of function where a small piece of code will be used to reduce the repetitions. Means suppose if you are using the same logic with the same loop continuously in a big complex program, for that we will be just using this function. We will be writing this method, that logic and repetition here, and we will be using just we will be calling this name whenever that logic has been mentioned there. It can be declared in two times, like we can be like function or maybe something like that, or maybe name. Same way commands, uh, codes, and enter. The same way it works out. There is no need of space. This is the function how exactly it works out. Now let us try to write a small normal function. Just a minute, I think it's not explaining.
It has HS, Ashok.
So that's the
yes.
reason. See, this is a function. Normally it takes like this. This is the way how we actually write. Now try to write. We will write just a basic programming. Hello world. We're just gonna print echo. Now we are closing it. Okay. Suppose if we want to just print this one value, so we will be just calling hello world. So it will print the just hello world. Let's see. See, it just printed. I have not, and the function is calling. Now we will make some changes into that. So now we are printing an hello world. So suppose we will just use without the function, we will use quit. And here I have to just want to just exit from the code once this has been done. exit. Now echo, I'm just calling the, just making calling the hello world, calling functions hello world. And after that, I'm printing the hello world. After that, I'm calling the quit. And after that, what I'm doing is that I'm again printing, exiting the program. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Sorry, guys. Okay. Exiting from the program. Okay. Now, let's see what happens. You have to tell me what exactly happens here. Why it has not printed the echo last one? Exiting the program. Well, guys, why it has not printed the last echo value? Why?
It has quitted.
It not quitted. It exited from the sh file. Means it
Yes,
is
yes.
exited from the file because we have used the quit. So to exit from the total file exactly once it has been done. So that's the reason it has not printed the exit from the. If we keep this echo on the top of it, it will print that one. Now it will print this one. Calling the functions from here, hello world, exiting from the program. This is the way the functions will be called.
One more doubt, Ashok.
Yes.
In the above statement, first we have printed function using function only hello world as printed. In the
Yes.
second one, like it's going to calling function from here.
Yeah, we just
The
print
bottom
calling.
one is going to the top. How, Ashok, is that?
So, I didn't understand your question, Ishant, correctly.
In the first program, we have typed only hello world, Ashok. The
Yes.
first one, yes. The second one, not here, not here, top of that. Bash of fun.sh.
Yes.
Not here, not here, Ashok. On top of
This
that, yeah,
one.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
At that time, I have not written this echo and everything.
Okay.
I have not written at that time.
After quit and exit, you have written this calling the function from here.
Yes, I've just
These
written it
guys,
just to make sure at that time to make you. If you want, I can remove that one also. I've just written this at that time. At that time when I have starting written this one, I've just written this one, function hello world, and just directly call the hello world. That's it. I
okay.
have not written the echo, quit, and everything.
Yes,
Once
yes.
I have to make you understand more about only returning the name of the file, like this hello world, I've just mentioned the quit, and I've just given a command exit directly.
Okay.
So to make you understand, we can write the commands or we can write the code also. To make you understand that one, I've written the quit and I quitted this one.
Hmm.
Hello world. After I have just written this so that you may understand where exactly the function is getting called from starting. And we have printed the hello world and quit.
Here,
And after
why this hello world is not printed, Ashok?
it has been
Top of
printed,
it.
right? Here.
My
Here.
question is, initially hello world is not printing. First, it is coming from the line calling the functions from here. Then hello world.
Yes.
Like why is this line not getting printed, Ashok? Hello world, the top one. You're not getting my point, Ashok.
No, frankly, no.
Oh, then open that nano.fun.sh, Ashok. I'll tell you. Here, initially we are printing hello world.
Yes.
When we are getting the results, it is not getting printed. Start it directly starting from calling the functions from here, then hello world.
Yes, because we have called this hello world here, right? See, this is the function name. We are calling this function name here. So it will
Okay,
print
okay.
after this one only. If I keep this one on the top of it, okay, let me print again. See, if you want, you can call multiple times. That's not the problem.
It is calling from, oh, calling. Okay, Ashok.
This is the calling. You can call multiple times. Okay, now if I am calling this one, so it will be printing multiple times. See, hello world, calling the function, hello world, exiting from the program, hello world. So it's just this method, this function name, whatever I'm using, I'm calling this one. So this is the reason I have used this hello world here. I can use it here, I can use it after quit. After quit, it will not work out. But I have used it here multiple times. You got the answer? Since you got it, or are you still having the doubts?
Can you go back to that program, Ashok? Nano.fun.sh. Okay, initially that the compiler will go through function hello world. Yes, right.
See, this is a function.
Name
Okay.
of
Okay.
the
It will not
It will
execute until you call this function at some place. Okay.
okay. It will okay. Okay. It will complete that and it will go back to this again.
Yes, see, it will not execute at all. It is just a function until unless you call this function at some place. See, if I am not calling this one, it will not at all execute at all also. See, it
Okay.
depends on this word, because if this function is not called at all, it will not print the entire thing, whatever inside it. It will not print. If you want to see, I'm just removing the function. It will not print at all, because if I'm not using this function at all anywhere, it will not print. I have not used the function at all. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
You are having seen any hello world?
no.
Because I have not used it, right? Because I have not called the function at all.
Yes, sure.
So if I am using that function at some place anywhere in between, then only that function, whatever has been inside, that will be work out. Otherwise, it will not work out. Just a minute. Sorry, guys. Yeah, if I'm not calling this function, whatever been inside this function will not be printed at all. Means whatever, maybe if it is a code, if it is a code, if it is a some block piece of code, if this is some condition, if it is some loop, anything, it will not be called until unless if I'm calling this hello world at some place. Got it?
Yes, Ashok.
Still have doubts?
No, Ashok. I'm clear with.
What about you, Puneet? Do you have any doubts on this?
No, Ashok, as of now, but while practicing, definitely I'll get doubt.
See, these are basic things. Means going forward, you see, these Linux scripting is just that you need to have a basic knowledge. You need to understand how exactly the functions and everything works out. So going forward, you can use this and you can work it out.
Okay.
Suppose now we are just hard coding the value. Suppose if you want to print, if you want to pass the parameters, means whatever you are writing, whatever you are using, you want to print that once. Uh, use that nano one only again. Sh. Suppose if I'm using function hello world and I'm using quit, I'm going to use a function print name. Okay, print name. I'm just gonna use this one, and I'm gonna use echo $1. Enter. I'm gonna use the hello world, and after that, I'm gonna use the print name, and I'm gonna mention what I did is that I'm just passing the parameters. I'm just passing the parameters. Suppose now if I run this, see, it is printing the value, means I have not declared anything in the print name at all, but it is working out because I have mentioned here $1 where I want to take the value which I am printing here for the edge. So it takes the print name of this value and prints it. This is a passing parameters. This is called passing parameters. We will call in coding language, it is called as arguments. Suppose if I'm writing multiple scripts, I want to fully write a big function, print full name. First name is $1. Okay.
It is kind of creation of object, Ashok.
Yes. $2. And then here I'm calling hello world. See, I'm in the function itself, I'm calling the function. See clearly.
Okay, okay. Yes, Ashok, it will execute now.
I'm removing it here from here. And here I'm printing the print full name. And that I am then after that, for the full name, I'm just gonna give the parameters arguments. Puneet. Now it will take the full parameters, means the first name, second name, $1 and $2, and it will print, and after that it will also print the hello world 2.
Okay. Here, whatever the space we have mentioned in between that two, it will consider as $1, first one, the $2, the second.
Yes, see, it was printed. Oh, your execution. Let me clear it. Cat fun.sh. And I'm executing batch fun.sh. See, what it has been, I have first taken print name. In the print name again self echo $1. So what I have given, so h, so it printed. Then after that, echo calling the functions from here. So it is calling the functions. And after that, I have printed the full name and have given two names, Puneet and H1. So 1 and 2. So the first name has been considered as $1 Puneet, and the second name has been considered as H1. And after that, in the function only, I have just called the hello world function from here, function in the function itself. So it called the hello world program. And after that, I have printed that exit from the program and quit. This is the way how you pass the arguments, passing the arguments into the functions. You can call a function in the function also. Any questions now?
No, sure.
Are you getting it right? Because see, if you have doubts, please ask me. See, these are all basics. We have not yet gone to the Git and Docker and nothing. This is just we are still in Linux only. We are just discussing about the scripting languages, about the scriptings, about the commands. We have not gone into DevOps at all. We are just in the scripting phase only. So if you have doubts, please make it very clear and you start practicing these things.
Yes, Ashok.
Okay, this is the same thing. The function basically has defined name and needs to be called when action is required. Function name is specified followed by parentheses after that a list of commands which are enclosed in curly braces. So this is the mandatory, because if you are using the function, these braces these are mandatory. If you are not given these braces, it will not close the program.
Common
Now,
braces.
curly braces.
Curly.
Now let's talk about another one called returning values. How exactly it works out. Suppose I am using a square function. What I'm doing is that I'm directly returning whatever the value. I'm just taking directly dollar. Now since I'm closing this function, I'm just mentioning echo. Please enter a number. Read n. After that, I'm just doing square dollar the hell dollar n, and after that I'm using echo dollar question mark. So here what I'm doing is that sorry, it will not be 2 because it's the same value. Square is that that square has the same sides, means each square length, width, and everything of the square will be the same value, right?
All sides are equal.
Yes. So what I have done is that I am doing the square function where I'm taking the input from the user directly, the n value. I'm reading it into the square, and I'm going to print this value. So what exactly we are doing is slash dot. So it will ask please enter a number. So I'm giving 3. So it got printed to 9. But why the use of dollar? The question mark. Why? Because the question mark prints the return type of the value. Oh, sorry. This question mark will give the return type of the value. So that's the reason we have taken the question mark. So it prints the square dollar one value, but I have not mentioned anything, right? I have not asked to print the value. So when I'm using the square dollar one and I'm in echo dollar, so automatically it takes a return type of that value and prints for you.
Sorry,
So,
Ashok, I didn't get you. Please come back.
see, here anywhere I have mentioned anything to print the square value, anywhere.
No.
So how it got printed?
Okay.
For that, we have used this question mark. The question mark takes the return type of the value. Return type, whatever the above, whatever has been mentioned, that return type value, and it takes it and it will print that value.
Okay, Ashok.
Return type of that function, whatever we have taken, that will print the return type of that function. So that's the reason the question mark is. I'm just it's a basic thing where means you just need to have that knowledge. So I've just used that for you. Okay, I'm giving 6. This is a returning values, means if you are taking this kind of return, so we have used in the square, we have just written it, and we have printed using the question mark, echo dollar question mark, where it takes the return type of the function and it prints the value. Now let's do a simple exercise. We'll create a, you know, the power values, right? 2 power 3, 3 power 3.
Yes.
So let's create a one power that one and see how exactly we can work it out. So you have to tell me how exactly we can work it out. So I'm gonna just write it for you. No.
Return.
Why exactly directly written? You have to mention it, right? Because the power function will not work that very much easily. So okay, I will write it. You tell me. Means I will write it and you tell me the why I have exactly why I'm writing these things. Just a minute. Understand it. Why I'm writing these things means why I'm using these things. Just I will ask you. Yes, and yes, listen. C is less than or equals to B. C, C is equals to 1, so it should be less than 100. Mental base number. power number. Now power equals to dollar base dollar power. Okay. Now tell me what I have written. Why I have written means what exactly the scenarios what I have written. Guys, let's see, at least we execute the script and see what exactly it comes. Enter base number. Okay, the base number should be 2, power number 3. So I have to mention the value in the last thing. Right. Why it is not printing the value? Anyone? Yes, if you are silent, I will not be able to understand what exactly you are thinking and what exactly you want to discuss.
It's printing. No.
Let me explain because I don't want to waste time. See, what I have is that I've used the base and power. So I'm just written a power function. So now suppose I'm taking two values, a equals to $1, b equals to $2. So the same way I have used $1 and $2 here. So these are the two values I'm going to take. So I have read these values from the user input, read base, read power. So whatever you are going to give, that will be the base and power values you are mentioning. So in the meanwhile, what I have taken is a C1, C equals to 1, result equals to 1. Why? If b equals to 0 means the power means 2 to the power 0, what will be the value?
The result is 1.
Yes. No, 2 to the power, normally the in max it is equals to 1, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's the reason I have mentioned then result equals to 1. If base means a 0 value to the power, what will be the result? 0 to the power of anything, what will be the answer?
0 only.
0.
Okay, then what I have did is that if I have to get the values, if a greater than or equals to 1 and b greater than or equals to 1, then what I have did is that I have used a while loop. While if c less than or equals to b means if it should be the c value should be 1 or more than 1, then do a result means result equals to dollar result into a means I am mentioning the result value means whatever may be the result means the A value, whatever we will be using it, I'm continuously multiplying it, and I'm using C value to increment. Then I'm clicking done. Means I'm incrementing it. See, until unless if the B value is means if you are giving the power value as 3, right? You are giving the power value as 3. So C 1 is less than or equals to 3. So it will go inside result. So it will do multiplication of result value. What was the result value first? So the result value was when it gone inside, it was 1 first, right? So it has calculated 1 into 2. Okay, it was 2, then C incremented, so it C came to 2, and it gone inside. 2 is still less than 3, less than or equal to 2, so it came into the result value was 2 here. So it calculated 2 into 2 4, and it stored in the result, and C again got incremented. 2 plus 1 means C became 3. So again it came gone into the loop. 3 is less than or equal to 3, so the result value was 4. 4 into 2 8, the result value stored in the result 8, and C became 4. No, became 4, and 4 is not less than or equals to 3. So it continued the loop value. So it printed that value into the result. You got the basic understanding of a programming, how
Yes, Ashok.
exactly I have written it. But do you want me to explain again?
No, Ashok, no.
No, no. Ashok, explain this logic part, Ashok, once again, please.
See,
From it starts with 1 and 2, A is equals to $1 and $2.
E is equals to $1. Oh, see, these are all $1, $2 is that whatever we are passing the arguments, right? We are
Yes.
taking here.
Okay.
So this $1 is actually the base value, and $2 is basically the power value.
Oh,
So this we have taken it here. So and C we have just taken a temporary value C equals to 1, and we have taken the result value equals to 1 as a basic. We should not keep it as 0, so we kept it as 1. So 0 to anything will be 0, right? So we kept it as
yes.
1. So if the power value equals to 0 means the power equals to 0. 2 to the power means anything to the power of 0 equals to 1.
1.
So in max I've just mentioned it as 1. So 0 to the power of anything is 0. So I mentioned it 0. Now, if I have to write the code, means if you are giving more than 1, or if you are giving more than 0, so what should be the value? So I used A greater than or equals to 1 and B greater than or equals to 1. Then what I'm asking them is that if while loop, in the while loop, I'm asking them if C value less than or equals to B, then do a result equals to calculate the result value into the A value to the base value whatever you are giving, and of that increment the C value. So in a basic example, now suppose you have given 2 as base, power value as 3.
Okay.
So the 2 value comes here. So in the first loop, C is 1 is less than 3. So it goes into the loop. Result value was 1. 1 equals to dollar. Result what was happened? Result value was 1 into A value 2. So it stores the 2 value into the result, and it incremented the C value to C plus 1. 1
Okay.
plus 1 2. So again the loop didn't execute it, didn't exit it from the loop, because still 2 is less than 3. So again it came, the result value was 2 when it came into the loop, because it shows this value 2. Then the result value was 2, and again it multiplied with the A value. A value was 2. 2 into 2 4. So again it stored into the result value, and again C got incremented from 2 plus 1 3. So again it go back and check 3 is less than or equals to 3. So again it came inside. Result value was 4. So it calculated 4 into 2 8. So it stored into the result, and again C got incremented 4. When it came into the loop, it see that 4 is not greater than 3. So it exited from the loop. So the result value got stored as 8, and it has been stored it here, and it printed. This is the way how the programming works out when you write this kind of codes. Any questions?
Result. Ashok.
Okay, and the last one we have was positional parameters. What is positional parameters? I'm just gonna explain it to you. Suppose until now we are seeing 0, $1, $2. We are using these values. Do you know why we have used 0, 1 and everything? When we are writing, executing the script, if you want to use it, at that time, this is the values we are going to use. $0 is actually the bash file, means the file name itself. You are mentioning bash, suppose file.sh, the 0th value is the file name itself. So it will execute this one only, file.sh. And $1 means in the bash file.sh, if you give 10 and 20, then 10 is the first value, 20 is the second value. This way the programming value consider the positional parameters, means when you are executing the script and directly you have given the values in there itself. Now let me write a function. First parameter $1 echo second parameter $2. Now if I am printing this value, if what exactly?
Control X and control.
Just echo file name $0, print $1, $2. Now if I exit this file and execute it,
Post parameter.
oh sorry, uh, see, I have executed. When I'm executing the script, I'm giving the values 10, 20. So it has taken the file name because the 0th value will be the file name. Bash post parameter, this will be the 0th value, and the $1 is the first parameter, $2 is the second parameter. Suppose if you want to give another parameter, third parameter $.
$3.
So now I'm using file name $1, $2, $3, control O.
Instead of giving below, we are giving in the line, same line.
Yeah, because when you are executing the script, you are directly giving the values.
Value.
So suppose you can give anything. Yeah, Puneet. Sure. File name is the 0th index and the first parameter will the first index, Puneet second, Ashok third. These are called positional parameters. When you are executing the script, you are directly providing the values. This is called positional parameters.
Okay.
Any questions, guys? This will be the end of the topic for the Linux. I'm gonna give some questions to you. You can try it in your home, and you can start practicing it so that it's easy for you to when you start working on it.
This is the scripting part we need to know, Ashok. These many topics are enough for like practicing the scripting, Ashok.
See, see, nothing is done until you start something, right? So if the scripting part is that I have given you all the basics, how exactly the functions works out, how exactly the commands work out, how exactly. So based on the project requirements, the scripts may be different.
Okay.
Based on their requirement, the scripts may be different. So we can't predict that this will be the scripts only they will be using, this will be the function they will be using. No, these are, we just need to know the basics. If you know the basics, if they give something, you can easily write it out, because if you have that knowledge, for that you need to practice first. In a single day it will not come, but you have to practice. See, this 2 months, consider that you don't have your life,
Yes, Ashok.
then only you can become a good DevOps engineer. Because if these basics and everything, see, whatever I will teach you in the Docker, or maybe in the Ansible, Terraform, or maybe in Kubernetes, whatever I teach you will be the basics. Means you will be able to understand what exactly, what are the things inside each domain, each thing in Docker, or maybe in containerization, everything. But not whatever I thought will be the same thing they will be asking you. No, they will be asking a little different, because the thing is that if you know the basics and if you understand your logic, what exactly they're asking, you can correlate and you can answer that. So that way it works out for you going forward. You have to be sure that you know the basics perfectly. See, if the base is not good, you can, if you go to the top also, there is no point of it. See, like in a single normal scenarios, practical scenarios, when you are building the house, what will be the first thing they first start building it?
Basement only.
Because the basement is the one, if you are building 100 floors floor also, the basement is the main thing, because they consider that that has to be the one which has to take the whole load of the total 100 floors. Because they
Yes.
think the basement is because for the basement they take a lot of time, because they will print more, they will have more cement, more everything, they will keep it here, because the base has to be very good. For these things also, for IT, for anything you are learning, the base has to be very good. So that is my only request. So if you are working on it, work more, and consider that these 2 months next up to February end, you have to be very, very thorough. Everything whatever I do, you have to look through the videos again. You start practicing from your side, and you have to work it out. Then only you can become a very good DevOps engineer.
Yes, Ashok.
Then only it will work out. See, if I'm giving the assignments, everything, you have to complete, you have to do it. If you don't have to give it to me also, but you have to practice it from your side. See, I take assignments very seriously. First thing means, if I'm saying it, you have to do it, you have to do it, because that is the way you have to answer your questions, because that way it works for you. If you don't practice, if you don't do, you will not be able to. Because see, you have already means, these 2 months, if you are not interested, if you are not doing it, it's waste of your time only. Mine is that I'm just going through the class, I will tell you everything and I will leave it, that's it. It doesn't make any loss for me. I'm already working, and I'm making my money. But for you, you are paying it, you are doing it. You have to be sure you have paid your money, you have investing your time here. For that you have to work it out, you have to be more active. That way it works out for you. These are the things, because every time when I'm giving assignment, I'm giving the assignment based on the small parts, because that way it works out for you.
Yes, Ashok.
Practice more, start investing. See, you don't have to sit 24 hours. Once the class is done, take a 1 hour break, sit again for another 1.5 hour, whatever has been told. You start doing it yourself. And if you still have doubts, watch the video, and after that take a break, again sit for another 1 hour. You don't have to sit continuously, hours and hours. Sit 1 hour, do more research, means what I have thought. And you see, there will be a lot of, means if you see Power Program, there will be a lot of different logics which has been, I have written one in one logic. They have written in different logic also. You can go through Google. You will find it. There are many more videos. You can go through it and you can start working on that. That we have to work it out. See, going forward, I will not be going this much slow because these are the basics. So that was the reason I went very slowly. After this, I will go very fast because if you have to complete the 2 months, in 2 months, total DevOps course has to be completed. So you have to give the practice projects also for you to work it out, to keep it in your resume that you have worked on these projects. So it has to work out. So you have to be more. You have to give more time. So this is my only request. Take it seriously. Take it very seriously.
Definitely, sir.
Otherwise, it's waste of your time and waste of your money. Nothing goes for me, frankly speaking.
Sure, sure.
In the weekend, sit. If I'm not taking class on Sunday, sit on Sunday. Do the revision of the whole week class, whatever you have done. See, if I ask you what is DU in the Linux command, tell me.
Disk usage.
Disk utility. That's right. Disk usage, that's also fine. What is DF?
Uh, disk filled.
DF is the size of the system what we use.
Okay.
To check who logged in, what is the command we use?
Who logged in?
Hmm?
Who am I?
No. Who logged in, to check who logged in exactly. Whoever has logged in. Who am I is the one who shows you are the person who is logged in. I'm checking. I want to check whoever has logged in into the system.
Okay.
That's W. So if you want to see what is the processor running, what is the command?
Which processor is running? Is it?
Which processor running?
IP config, if config.
If calling prints the IP addresses, guys.
Okay.
PS is the process state which shows what are the processes running, what is the process IDs. Guys, these things are the one. These things are the ones you need to understand. These are the things, basic commands you need to have. If I want to see how many types of list of open files are there,
LS.
list of open files. I have said list of open files. I didn't say the list.
Okay. If IFOP,
LSOF.
LSOS, LSOF, Ashok.
I said LSOF only.
Okay, okay.
See, these are the basic commands because you need to have these commands. If this ask you in the sleep also, you should be ready to tell that. That much practice you need to do. See, you know the ABCD, the alphabet. Why? Because that much they have taught you in the starting phase. That much they beat you, they did something, and they made you learn. Now, end of the day, if they ask you in the sleep also, you will get up and say the alphabet, right?
Yes, yes,
That
yes.
way, you have to be thorough on this Linux commands and Linux scripting. So, if you are very good at it, you can become a very good DevOps engineer. No one can stop you. The scripting is the part where you need to learn a lot. You need to understand, you need to do some scripting, you have to do it. But see, if they work on Linux more, you have to be on the scripting. If they use Docker and everything, you just need to know how exactly it works out, or maybe the Ansible on Terraform, how you exactly they works out, how exactly they need it.
Sure, sure.
Practice, guys, practice more, practice. Practice is the thing you need to work it out more.
Definitely.
Ashok, the other day you had mentioned about Tech World with Nani.
Nana, Tech World with
Nana.
Nana.
Sorry, Nana. Okay. Do we get the shell scripting part also in that channel, Ashok?
Yeah, I
Actually,
think it is there. See, for Shell, you have many YouTube videos, many hundreds, thousands of videos are there. You can, if you want, you can go for the hack rack or something. There is a one website where you can directly do your coding part.
Okay.
Hank Racker, I think Hank Racker or something. Hacker Rack. Here you can create your account. You can start practicing. They have Python, Java, everything. You can just start practicing in the hacker rank. It will be very easy for you because you can start practicing the coding because they will be giving some the programs there itself, and you can start writing it. If you are not able to do it, they will give you the logic how exactly it has been written, and they will explain. Hackerrank.com. You can go to that one also.
Okay.
Check it out. Check it out. Go for it. Check it out. Do everything. Just 2 months, give all whatever you have. Then after that, once you join, you can enjoy your life.
Yes, Ashok.
Ashok, which is the best website for these commands, Ashok, to
In
follow?
Google, there are many more things. See, if
Okay.
you follow my PPT also, that's enough for you. But still, if you want to understand more and more, you can go through YouTube and you can just search the Linux commands. There is tutorials point, there is Geeks for Geeks. They also explained it very clearly. They also explained it very clearly, each and every command.
Geeks, Ashok?
Geeks for
Geeks,
Geeks.
geeks. Definitely, I'll follow this, Ashok.
Do it. Hacker Earth is also one thing where you can practice the programming languages. Hacker Earth. Okay, guys. Tomorrow I'm gonna start Git.
Git. Okay.
Just once you are done, just do a Google search, see what is Git and version control. Just do it.
Version control.
Okay, Ashok.
Git and version control. Just check it out. What is Git and what is version control? I'm not. I'll just see how much you have the knowledge on this. It's a simple thing because I just want to see how much we can work it out. Git and version control.
Okay, Ashok.